What's up, everybody? Tricks Ridiculous back with another video, and got a couple things to cover today. Obviously, the most recent dev blog post and live stream covered the new earned cosmetics and what that's going to mean for the future of cosmetics in the game. I'm just going to kind of talk through that briefly, and then a little bit of raid information that I think will be very valuable for all players. It was something we got exclusively revealed on my stream, which is why you should never miss a stream. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon to never be missing out on streams when they do happen. Now, pretty much all of this information actually comes from Brian Wagner. If you don't know Brian Wagner, he is the banger developer within Crystal Dynamics. Absolutely awesome dude, and he does stream on Twitch as well, so I'll link his Twitch down in the description as well. But he largely worked on these earned cosmetics, and really not too much to say on these other than that I do kind of like what they're doing here. Of course, we've gone what is it now, almost a year without really any use for in-game cosmetics earnable. So this is a welcome change, albeit maybe just the start of something bigger. But it's nice to see some of the different ways that we can get it. So obviously Chastity McBride, what we see here, is coming back. And she's going to have pretty much what was happening at launch, right? Where she's going to have those cosmetic items that are kind of the lower rarity that you can buy, and then specialty ones that only rotate weekly. So, nothing too crazy from what happened at launch, although at launch it actually was broken. It didn't work, and the specialty items were always the same. There were like three. It was that one Hulk outfit. If you're a day one player, you'll remember that one Hulk outfit that never moved, and then the other two that never rotated. So at least, assuming the system works, we're going to get, rotating specialty items. That'll be sweet. And then rotating actual cosmetic items there. So a lot of different cosmetics that you'll be able to just grab from here on a daily and weekly basis. Really excited for that. Definitely going to pick all of those up. Patterns are coming back. Of course, if you've watched, my latest video on how to get infinite patterns, you probably won't matter too much to you, but I do believe you'll probably be able to get both epic and legendary patterns back again, or at least just epic. So that'll be something you'll definitely want to take advantage of, making sure you're doing that mega hive for the chance to get that epic at least once a week pattern. So that'll be sweet. And then shipments. So obviously this is the big new thing, right? So these are going to be the loot boxes, and they are loot boxes. And I know a lot of people have kind of a bad taste with that, but honestly, loot boxes, in my opinion, aren't inherently bad by themselves. Paid loot boxes are bad, right? Because paid loot boxes are actually gambling. But if you've got loot boxes that are just done with in-game currency and there's no way to spend real money on more of them, then there's really no gambling involved, right? You just have to play the game more. So I'm totally okay with this. And you can see everything that's in them prior to actually getting them. So really, really nice. Now, obviously, good to see all of these coming back. And I think we even did get word that the Intel and some of the other promotional skins that you had to be buy an Intel processor, or I think the Virgin Galactic skins, some of those other promotional skins are going to be part of this. So really nice to see that those are coming back in a different way. That's really sweet. And of course, every one of these will have what's called a specialty item, right? So the first one, or at least I don't know if it's the first one, but one of them that they're showing off here is the Iron Man Wakandan Stealth. So it's a pretty good looking armor piece. Definitely one that I'm going to grab. But basically it has a chance, the way it's going to work is it has a chance to show up. So you'll see possible stock, right? It can possibly drop in any loot box. So you could get it on your very first one, but if you don't, it'll guarantee it after you buy 100 of them, right? So they're going to cost 500 each. So 100 of them is going to be 50,000 credits, which is really not too much at all. So that's going to be pretty sweet. The other thing, and I know I'm jumping around a bit here, is that you can actually earn one per day, right? So you'll see here every day this Rise and Shine, and this is already a daily mission that comes in your thing here. Just completing a war zone with any player in the strike team, you get experience, you get fragments, upgrade modules, and then you'll get one shipment, right? So I know obviously one a day is not a lot if you need 100 for the specialty item, but it's nice to get at least one cosmetic basically every day, every time you play. So that's pretty sweet. So overall, really excited for that. And, you know, definitely going to be spending a ton of my near infinite units. And if you don't already have a lot of units, I will link my farm, the fastest way to get units, in the description below. Definitely take advantage of that. Possibly going to get patched soon, so definitely take advantage of that while you can. The other thing that I wanted to show you guys, and this was in regards to the Claw raid. So again, Brian Wagner was able to pop into stream last time I streamed, and he, you know, didn't spoil too much. He was mostly there just for fun, and he's a great guest to have chatting it up with folks. But he did drop a little nugget of wisdom, and I actually went back, and so I apologize for the low quality, but went back and grabbed the chat as a screenshot here. So we were talking about Sonic versus Vibranium, or Sonic and Vibranium, excuse me, versus other elements and what you want to bring in the raid. And we already know that some of the new raid gear is actually going to have effects where, you know, like the status leak, right? Where if you attack a Sonic enemy or an enemy affected by Sonic with Vibranium, they'll spread shock, for example, or they'll spread more Vibranium, or there's going to be all different combinations like that. So my initial thought was that, well, hey, Vibranium sounds like it's going to be a useful stat or a useful element to have in the raid, but maybe not until you actually get the raid gear, right? That's what I assumed, but I was wrong, because check this out. So basically saying that some enemies have Sonic shields that take massively less damage from anything other than Vibranium, and those are going to be the Echoes, okay? So very, very interesting. Now, Vibranium has some downsides, right? They do have kind of the fixed stats. So a perfect example is Hawkeye. Hawkeye has you know, you can get Vibranium on his melee piece, right? But for the split shot arrow, but if you do, then that piece is not going to be able to roll with precision, right? So you're going to take a hit in your precision to be able to use the Vibranium element. So what do? Well, I'm not suggesting that you completely go all out on Vibranium, but it sounds like the small hit to precision is going to be vastly outweighed by the amount of weakness these enemies have to Vibranium. So even if you have less precision, if the enemy's weak to Vibranium, they're going to take a lot more damage anyway than just trying to max out your precision with a different element, right? So what I would recommend is just bring in a repertoire, right? Your gear, we've got to confirm that your gear will not be locked in the raid. You'll be able to switch your gear during the raid. So try to farm up a piece or two of Vibranium that you can switch to if you're struggling with these enemies. And we don't know, you know, obviously we'll see when the raid comes out, but we don't know when and where all these enemies are going to pop up in the raid. Maybe they're only at certain points, so you can probably switch on to that, switch back off of it. Maybe someone on your team can have it, someone else doesn't need to have it, whatever the case may be. But for the characters that you're definitely thinking you're bringing into the raid first, I would recommend using the Here Comes the Pain mission. I'll link my route to the best Vibranium gear farm. I have a video on that if you haven't seen it. But definitely, if you do already know the path, I would go hit that up. Definitely try to get at least a piece or two of Vibranium on your main. Even if you don't, you know, start the raid with it, at least you'll be able to switch to it if you feel it's going to be necessary for these Echo enemy types, and that is the new enemy type. So just a little nugget of wisdom there, which I don't think anyone knew about the raid. So that's really all I wanted to share with you guys. Really interesting information and really good information about the cosmetic vendor as well. So excited to see these changes in addition to everything else that's coming on the 30th. Really, really excited. Only 9 days away as of the release of this video, so can't wait. Definitely be sure to subscribe if you're new. Be sure to like the video if you learned something. Discord and Twitter will be linked down in the description. Be sure to follow on both of those and join the Discord. But otherwise, that's it for me, guys. I will see you in the next one.